And welcome back to this channel. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 different paintbrushes that you need to get as a beginner artist. So let's dive in to this episode and let's get inspired. The very first thing I'm going to say is that no matter the paint medium that you work with, the size and shape of brushes is going to be the same across the mediums. So these are my watercolor paint brushes. The only difference with this one is that you can get bamboo brushes. This is a very old bamboo brush that I've had for like, ooh, dusty, for like 15 plus years, and the hairs are almost worn off. It's like a real, boar, like a real hair one. I think it's like boar or something. Same with this one. This is a real hair one, but you can see what it used to look like. Crazy. And then these are all Allegro brushes. So these are all the watercolors. They all come in shapes, different shapes. Okay, this is what we're going to talk about. These are oil painting brushes, but you can see, you can find, even though these ones are watercolor, these ones are oil, you'll find similar, almost the exact same ones. These ones are, watercolor is a little bit shorter, right? Because you're not using a canvas, so they're shorter because you're using paper. Otherwise, you'd be painting like this on, that would be overkill, right? You're going to be painting like this. You don't need the whole thing. So they're shorter, you'll notice, like more like a pencil. But you'll get the same ends on them, right? These two are the exact same. I probably even have it in, oh, I do. I think I have the acrylic version too. Oh, yes, I have it in all. I can buy the same, I like certain brushes, so I have it in oil, watercolor, and acrylic. And these are the exact same brush, but different companies. So watercolor, you can see, is much shorter, and this one's a cheaper version. This is a cheaper brush. You can see it's deteriorating. And also the balance, it's kind of heavy in the center. It feels like it needs to be held more here to feel balanced. This one is a synthetic hog hair, round Winsor and Newton one, and this one is perfectly balanced. If you're talking about wands, this is a bright, nice, balanced wand, if you will. Where this one's very heavy on the end, so if you're holding it back here, it feels very heavy on the front, whereas it kind of needs like to feel like you have to hold it more in the middle to feel balanced, whereas I can hold this one out here, I can hold it in the middle, it feels the same, and I can hold it out here at the very front, and it still feels the exact same. It feels good all the way through. And this one's probably, I've spent a lot more money on this than I did on my acrylic brushes. Just because when I started acrylic, I was like in my teens and 20s, so it's showing its wear and tear over time. It's starting to crack through this, whatever this coating is on the outside. The hairs are deteriorating, but it's still like, this is an old brush, so it is what it is. It's old. It's old. And it doesn't matter if I'm still going to use it. So that's that. So the difference in brushes is not, one is that it does matter for every medium, for every style of paint, whether it's acrylic, oil, or watercolor, you're going to get the exact same brushes in every single art medium. So like you're going to see some of the exact same ones, shapes and sizes in my oil brushes and in my acrylics. What's different is you have to be aware of what medium you're working with. So you must buy the appropriate brush for the paint you're using most of the time. And if you only have acrylic but you want to switch to oil, then you're going to commit that brush to oil and then you're going to keep it at oil. But that's okay. So it's going to depend on your medium, because the hairs are designed and they're either more soft or more firm for that specific paint. The other thing is that you're going to look at is the different shapes. So there are square brushes, right? And there is big versions and there is small square brushes. Okay, there's also the same thing for round. And now rounds come in two sizes as well. There's like a flat round. So this is a flat round. But then there's also a round brush. Flat round. So there's different types of brushes that way as well. So we're gonna take a look at that to help you determine. So now, when it comes to, we're gonna talk about medium first. So watercolor brushes, you can see they're very soft. We are not pushing any heavy paint with a watercolor brush. You can see how bendy this is. This is a watercolor brush. It's very soft. You're only pushing water. There's no medium, right? Because the pigment is mixed in water. It's diluted pigment. You're just moving water around. So it's super, super soft. And so therefore this would not be good for acrylic or oil paint. It would be terrible. An acrylic brush is a little bit more bendy, but, a little bit more stiff, not as bendy. So these they also come in synthetic and natural hairs. So this is an acrylic brush. You can see it's still bendy, but a little bit more stiff for moving your acrylic paint. This one's quite bendy, but again, not as bendy as my watercolor ones. I have a larger acrylic, crusty. That one did not get washed well. I have a larger acrylic painting brush collection than oil paint because I was doing that one longer. But also some of these are cheaper, so I have more because I've had to upgrade, which is why I now recommend just investing in quality ones. So again, it's like a flat round brush. So this one's really crusty. Love this shape. Anyway, like I said, my favorite shapes in a second. They also come in very large, so if you're doing very large, wow, what happened here? I did not wash these good enough. My goodness. Must have been really tired. I don't know what happened. These ones are washed terribly. What is going on? Unless I used it for varnish. Maybe that's what the problem was. Whew, feels terrible. Anyways, they also come in, brushes come in like very big sizes. So like if you're doing like a wash or your background, or you're making a big canvas, you want to make big marks, you can get brushes for making big marks. All right, so now let's talk about, oil paint brushes. So then here's the last one is oil paint brushes. These ones are a lot more stiff. You can see it's not so bendy. I take the same thing in acrylic, bendy, oil, not as bendy. So they're a lot more stiff because of oil paints are a little heavier. They need to be a little bit more to move them around the canvas. And then also, you can get them in synthetic. This one's an artist. This one's a Winsor & Newton oil synthetic hog brush. Short, flat. So it's short and flat. You also get longer ones. They come in all kinds, my friend. Okay, so that's the different styles. So we're gonna talk a little bit about my favorite brushes of all the different shapes that I have. So it doesn't matter what medium, so don't worry about the type of medium that these ones are for. Just worrying about shapes only, and you can apply them same shapes to any medium. Like I said, I have the same brush, but for oil, watercolor, and acrylic. So don't worry about that. We're gonna talk about shapes only. Number one shape that I like, my number one favorite brush, is this guy. This one is a round. This one is number 3. This one is a round. This one's Winsor & Newton. I like to buy. My advice is to get a few brushes that are better quality. One, they're gonna last longer, and two, they're just gonna last longer and they're gonna do the job better. They're gonna do the job way better. So don't get a whole bunch of junk brushes, just get a few quality brushes. And like I said, they're so balanced and nice. This, I can paint like this if I wanted to. Or I could paint like this if I wanted to. Or I could paint like this if I wanted to. And I can because it's balanced all the way through. Whereas some of the other ones don't do that as much. This one's pretty good. This is a good brand. What is this? Don't know. Don't know. It's good all the way through. I can't see it anymore. The brand's all worn off. It's old. Anyways, I really like this Winsor & Newton one. Anyway, I think I like this round one. This is number 3. I use this a lot. I find it fits a lot of details nicely, and I use the same brush in all mediums and have it in all of my mediums. Another one I like is the number 8 round. It's a slightly bigger version. It's longer, right? I can do longer strokes, but it's a bigger version of it. And this one is a number 8. Again, I use synthetic. You can get whatever you prefer, your whatever you want, real hair or not. This one's synthetic hog. So that's my number 2 one that I like. Okay, next that I like is a number 8. I like a flat. Now, if you're doing much bigger paintings or abstract, you're gonna wanna get much bigger paintbrushes and start maybe up here, right? But I should go to this one in a second. But I like this one, number 8, flat. Yeah, that's a good brush, okay? So same size, but different. You're gonna get a much different mark, right? Because you can do it this way. You can use it to make marks this way. You can make it marks on the point this way. You can make marks on the corners. You can use all parts of your brush to make marks. Okay, now it is important to find a smaller brush. I don't have a good quality one. I have to still get a better small brush, to be honest. But getting a nice tiny brush, this one's a cheapo. I don't have a good quality acrylic, oil yet. Where are all my small brushes? Something like a 0, 1, or 2 are really good to have. This one's a 2. But you're gonna need a small one for a small brush to make small marks. I just dropped my really small one, sorry. Okay, you're gonna need a small brush to make those tiny details. You're not gonna use this for your big parts of your painting, but if you need to make tiny details, you're going to need to have a tiny brush. This one's very small, this 0, so probably a more versatile one would be like a number 1. This one's a 2/0, whatever that means. I would say get a number 2. That's a good one to start with because you can have a nice point on it to make a nice point, small mark, right, with just a tip, or make it bigger by pressing harder. Okay, I have that one. Or number 1, something small, right? Something small to make a small mark. And then finally, you're gonna want a bigger brush. So either a large flat round. You can get a slightly bigger version. I think these actually might be the same. $16. Oh yeah, they are. I always buy the exact same brushes. Not intentional. I never look at the numbers, but I'm always like, ooh, I like that one. So this is 16 in acrylic. So the blue one's acrylic and this brown one is the oil. Exact same brush, 2 different companies. One's a little bit longer, so this one's a short. This one's a longer one. You can see that. But it's the same shape on the end, right? Same width, shape, depth. This one looks crazier because it's been well used. So I highly recommend getting something like that. Also, it's good to putting on your wash at the beginning, depending on how big you're working. But this is basically your set that you really want to start off with. Something big, something medium, something small, something tiny to work with. If you want, you can also get, again, like a larger brush of sorts. Where'd I go? I got some other ones here. These ones are made by Liquitex. These are their freestyle line. Oh, sorry, these ones are crunchy because I've used this with my varnish. Sorry. But look at this. Isn't that nice? That makes either some big painting marks, if you're doing more expressionist, abstract stuff, or you want to do a nice big wash, you want even consistent marks. Liquitex freestyle lines, that's what these are. Aren't those so cool? They come in lots of different sizes. I like these ones that have these little paddle handles. Oh, so cool. Aren't they? Oh, I love them. Another thing I like to do is to store my brushes by type. So I have one jar for just watercolors. I have one for my oil brushes. These are actually just IKEA vases. And then I put just colored paper on the inside to make them look super cute. And they're nice and tall, so they hold the paintbrushes a lot more neatly. I do need to get more for my oils, but look how nice and neat it keeps all your brushes. And these are just those like 3 set of IKEA vases. I love them. I got this idea off the IKEA website. This is their idea. Yeah, and they put paper in there. They're so smart. This is literally their idea. So no credit to me. Credit IKEA. Now, if you're looking for any of these paintbrushes and my recommendations, you can check out the description below this video. I will have a list of my recommended brushes in there. Again, investing in quality over quantity. Get just like 5 good brushes is better than having like 16 junk or giant. Buy a 50 pack of brushes. Don't do that. Just save your money and buy the same. Use that money to buy 5 good ones. How are you gonna use 50 pack of brushes all at once? You can only use 1 or 2 at a time. 90% of the time you're gonna use the same brush most of the time. Seriously, do not waste your money and fall for that junk. It's junk. It is junk. So my recommended list is below in the description of this video. I do need to let you know that they are Amazon affiliate links. That means I do get a commission from those if you make a purchase. On that, I will get a small portion of that. I'll get a commission. However, I'm only going to recommend things that I am actually using, and only the good ones. I'm not gonna list any of that junk because I think it's junk. Just so you know. Don't waste your money. You work too hard for it to waste it. All right, my friend. So I would like to know in the comment section below the video, I have a question for you. What is your favorite brush to work with? Stick the number of your brush, the type, in the description below the video. Let me know your favorite brush to work with. And finally, your next video to watch is how to develop a consistent style as an artist. And you can watch that video by clicking the card above or in the link below in the description of this video, and I will see you at that episode. Please make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel to help my channel grow. It's really important for me in order to be seen on the algorithm that you like this video and subscribe and share it out. And I will also do milestone videos for you. So at 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a man-eating cupcake serious artwork in acrylic. At 10,000 subscribers, I'll do an oil painting of a cupcake that's out of this world. And at 100,000 subscribers, I will do a ceramic sculpture of a cupcake that you get to help inform the theme for that one. So that's it, my friends, and I'll see you in the next one.